everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Brittany and I'm currently pregnant. I'm due in July with my first little baby boy. I'm really excited and I've basically been documenting my pregnancy journey here on YouTube and I love sharing everything with you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Obviously, you can tell by the title of this video is literally just me giving you a bunch of names that I like but I won't be using for our son. There's also going to be a bunch of girls names in there as well, because obviously even before I got pregnant I've had a list of names in my phone since forever. I feel like everyone has a list of names in their phone, even if they're not even like considering getting pregnant or want to be pregnant anytime soon. I just feel like it's a thing you have. Like, let me know if you are in the same situation, pregnant or not. Do you have a list of baby names in your notes in your phone? Let me know. As I said before, we do know the gender of our baby, which makes things a lot easier. I feel like if I didn't know the gender, I would struggle really hard to like come to a name. We did actually, before finding out the gender, we were struggling a lot with boys' names, and we had a few girls' names that we liked. And we were actually set on one girl's name if it was a girl, but we didn't even have like a boy's name that we were really set on, up until maybe a couple of months ago, where I found a name I really liked and I mentioned it to Ryan, and Ryan was like, yeah, I really like that name. So basically we've decided on a name already for our little boy. Obviously I'm not going to share that name today. I feel like I want an element of surprise for when he's born. Like, I already know the gender, everyone already knows the gender, so I'm kind of keeping the name under wraps. But yeah, I love watching these videos. It's good to get like some ideas. I've watched heaps of these like early on in my pregnancy just to get kind of like an idea of the sort of names I liked. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into baby names I love but won't be using. Okay, so I've got the list on my phone here. I feel like I'll just start off with the girls' names. Yeah, and I'm basically just going to read them off the list. There's a few, I feel like I don't need to explain my explanation for why I like every name. I'm literally just going to read you my list of names. There's a few that have, you know, I guess a little bit of meaning or a reason to why we wouldn't use them. So I might touch on that. But yeah, here it is. Alright, so girls' names, we've got Avery, Amelia, Brielle, Annalise, Penelope, Genevieve, Estelle, Emmeline, Ciara, Sienna, which is quite similar. Also, I really like these two. I really like Ciara and Sienna. But one of my best friends actually had Sienna as one of her top girl names. So yeah, obviously it's a bit of a awkward thing when you and your friends like the same baby names. Also Amelia, we both liked Amelia, and I think we had a little bit of an argument that we just both have to like fight to see who has a girl first to use that name. I still really like that name. If I had a girl, I'd probably be still considering it as a girl's name, as one of my top picks. But yeah, I think as the time goes on, I've kind of gone off Sienna and Ciara a bit. But it's still, I really like it. It's a pretty name, it's unique, different. Most of the names that I've got on here, I kind of like longer names, you'll find, that aren't as common, but they're not super modern. Like, I'm not really a big fan of really modern different names. Like, I just it wouldn't be a choice that I would call my child. But I like kind of the longer names that can be abbreviated and have lots of nicknames that aren't overly used. Going on, we have Valencia, Zara, Kendra, Kendall, Emerson, which you can spell Emerson two ways. So there's one with a Y, E-M-E-R-S-Y-N, or E-M-M-E-R-S-O-N. Odette, Meadow. I really kind of grew on the name Meadow, and I feel like this is probably the name in my girls list that is the most kind of modern or unique. And it was literally because we were watching the show Sopranos and the daughter's name is Meadow, and as I kept watching it I was kind of like, at the start I was like, oh, you know, not really, it didn't really like catch me. And then as the show went on, I don't know if I just liked the character, but I really like, I was like, Meadow, it's just like different. You get Med as short, I don't know. I probably wouldn't use it, but I still kind of like the idea of the name. Eli, Pippa, Zari, Addison, Aliette. Again, I'm a bit on Aliette, but like I said, I kind of, all these names like Annalise and Brielle, you can kind of like, I like that if they don't want to be called those full names, they can have a nickname from that. Like Brielle, you could call her Brie, or you could call her Al. Annalise, you could call her Elise, or Anna, or Anne, or whatever. So yeah, that's why I like those sort of longer names. And then the last girl's name that I love, that we actually decided on, we had decided this like literally when I was 8 weeks pregnant, if we had a girl it would be called this name. And I feel like now I can say it because we're not having a girl. Well, I'm 99% sure we're not having a girl. And that is, and it annoys me to say it because this is such a common name now. I feel like in the last 12 months this has just shot through like the rankings and the baby name rankings, and also every second person on my Facebook feed now is calling their daughter this name. And like, I remember before we found out the gender, I was like, oh my god, I saw about 2 people post a baby like announcement with this girl's name, and I was like to Ryan, oh my god, what are we gonna do? Like, we can't, like, it's so common now. Anyway, I'll stop the suspense. The name that we would have chosen for our daughter would have been Isla. So spelled I-S-L-A. And I actually found this name I found this name a few years ago, not from like anyone really posting that they'd had a daughter named Isla, because I've never met an Isla, but it was one of the comedians, what's his name now? Bert Kreischer. I don't know if you know him, but he's a comedian and me and Ryan watch him, and his daughter is called Isla, but I think hers is spelt differently. But anyway, that's originally where we found the name from, and we both liked it. It also kind of is a play on my last name. So my last name is Eilison, but spelt with an E. So I like that it kind of incorporates my last name into her name as well, if we'd have a daughter. Who knows, if we have a daughter down the track in a few years time, you know, 5 years time or whatever, the name might be not as overly used and maybe we'll decide to still use it. But at this point in time, obviously we're not using it because it's a girl's name. Moving on to the boys' names, which is the exciting part. I have my name at the end of this list. I need to like just push it down so I don't accidentally say it. So yeah, a few of these I really like. One, I'll start with the first one that if Ryan liked this name, I would still consider using it as my boy's name, and that is Xavier. I really like that name. I don't know, it's just something different, it's a bit unique, but it's not too modern, if you know what I mean. So, sorry, the truck's just going past and it looks like the weather is about to change, so that's why I'm filming. I'm trying to get my filming done before it starts raining and it's really loud. Anyway, yeah, Xavier, that is one of my top boy names, but Ryan hates it. This is the problem we had. Like, I'll really like a name and he will hate it, or he'll really like a name and I'm like, no way in hell we're using that. So it's really hard to come to an agreement on names. We've kind of got 2 names that we would use, but yeah, I'm not gonna say the other name anyway, but it's pretty much this one name. Anyway, I'm carrying on. So we've got Xavier, Alexander, Knight, Alice, Nathaniel, Edison, which I did actually really like Edison at the start. Edison, what was I going to call it? So the middle name, we've got the middle name, and I'm happy to share that because it's really special to us. So our son's middle name is going to be Philip, after Ryan's dad, who passed away last year. So that's set in stone. And then we were kind of tossing up between to use Ryan's middle name as a middle name as well. His middle name is James, which I do like the name James. So when I was thinking of names originally for boys, I was thinking we could call him Edison Philip James Hickey, which I think flows really nicely, but I've kind of recently gone off that name. So yeah. Next one is Elliot, Maverick, Harvey. Harvey was one of the ones we decided ages ago that we both agreed on, that we kind of both liked, and I like the play on words with the double H, so Harvey Hickey. I kind of like that, but one of our friends got a dog and he called it Harvey, and now I'm kind of like we can't really use it. But also I found another, like obviously the name that we've both agreed on is, I much prefer it over this. So yeah. Isaac, Vance. Ryan really liked Vance, and I don't know, I like it, but I don't know, like he'd get Van for short, and I don't really, yeah, I don't know. Franklin, Connor. I really like the name Connor. Again, it's a pretty normal name. I feel like it's not as common these days. Hollis, Bolt, Leo. Leo's cute, and also like my baby's due at the end of July, so he will hopefully, if he doesn't come early, he will be a Leo. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a Leo. So that would be cute, but also, yeah, I don't think we'd use it. Henry, we really I really like the name Henry, but my mum's partner's grandson is called Henry, so that's why we wouldn't use that name. Davis and Davy. I really kind of like that name, Davy or Davis. Yeah, I don't know why. I just like it. Like, there doesn't have to be an explanation to why you like every name. I feel like you see that name, you hear a name, you're like, oh, that sounds nice. I like it. And then the last one for the boys list is Knox. Yeah, that's literally it. I do really like Nathaniel as well, and then they could get Nate. I like longer names that kind of sound, that aren't too modern, that you can abbreviate. But yeah, that is it. That is all my names that I love but won't be using. I hope you enjoyed this video. I feel like these are just like a little bit of fun to kind of quickly watch and like get an idea of, maybe there's some names that, you know, people like that you haven't heard of. But yeah, if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel. And don't forget to subscribe because I upload new videos every single week. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!